Hey everybody, this is Cave Cat again, here with another great episode of Cave Cat's movie and TV reviews. And guess what? This is actually the sixth episode of the series where I review a show or movie featuring a dog as the prominent character. In this case, that would be Courage the Cowardly Dog. To start things off, Courage the Cowardly Dog first started off as an animated short shown on the What a Cartoon Show, which aired on Cartoon Network back in the mid 90s. The short was entitled The Chicken from Outer Space and was created by John R. Dilworth by his company known as Stretch Films. After the short aired, it was even nominated for an Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film, but unfortunately, it lost to the Wallace and Gromit short A Close Shave. Despite this turn of events, the short became one of several What a Cartoon shorts that were greenlit to become an animated series, following Dexter's Laboratory, Cow and Chicken, Johnny Bravo, The Powerpuff Girls, and Ed, Edd n Eddy. Though Ed, Edd n Eddy didn't air on the What a Cartoon Show, unlike the other shorts. But anyway, Courage the Cowardly Dog first premiered on Cartoon Network from November 1999 to November 2002, running for 4 seasons and even airing in reruns for quite a while on some occasions. So what's the show about? It's about the titular character, Courage, a small pink dog who lives on a quaint little farm with his owners Eustace and Muriel Begg near the fictional town of Nowhere, Kansas. The reason is because, according to the theme song, they quite literally live in the middle of nowhere, and more often than not, they end up the target of all kinds of different strange and scary phenomena that try to get rid of Eustace and Muriel, or at least try to take over the farmhouse by any means. However, there are actually some monsters or creatures that aren't really all that bad at all, just misunderstood. For the main characters of the show, we have the title character Courage. Even in spite of his name, he often comes across as being easily frightened at even the smallest things. But despite this, he still comes up with ingenious plans on how to save his owners and defeat the villains. Now, for his owners, we have Muriel Begg, who is a kindly Scottish accented woman who is very kind and loving towards Courage, doting upon him more often than not, while her husband Eustace Begg is the opposite of Muriel, being that he's grouchy, rude, and absolutely hates Courage, generally being ungrateful whenever Courage saves him from danger. One has to wonder why Muriel married Eustace in the first place if he's so mean-spirited and crotchety, even if he very rarely has his sympathetic moments, such as the episode where he has a gypsy curse placed upon him for his mean-spiritedness. Lots of times, whenever he tries to commit some kind of scheme to get rich or to keep something for himself, you can bet that he'll always get punished in any way, shape, or form thanks to his selfish and immoral ways. Aside from the main characters, we also get a lot of recurring characters, both heroic and villainous, such as Shirley the Medium, an anthropomorphic chihuahua who serves as a stereotypical gypsy fortune teller, who often provides a lot of helpful advice to Courage. Dr. Vendeloo, a doctor who's usually not all that great at doing his job, almost like Dr. Nick from The Simpsons. The computer, whom Courage usually consults when he needs to find out more about the monster or creature at hand, though the computer usually has a tendency to make snarky and sarcastic remarks towards Courage. D. Lung, a Chinese American young man who specializes in building inventions while also being verbally abusive to Courage. Katz, an anthropomorphic red cat who's basically a jack of all trades, since in all of his appearances he always comes up with scam businesses to try and do away with his victims. Le Quack, a French accented duck who acts as a con man to try and scam Courage and his owners. And of course, we get one of my favorite characters, Ma Begg, who is the mother of Eustace. She's just about as mean-spirited as Eustace is, being that while Eustace refers to Courage as stupid dog, Ma refers to Eustace as stupid boy, which explains why Eustace is so mean to Courage. The reason that Ma is one of my favorite characters of the show is because she was voiced by the late Billy Lou Watt, whom a lot of you might recognize for voicing several anime characters of the past, like Astro Boy, the titular character of Kimba the White Lion, and especially Christopher Peepers from Superbook. Her performance as Ma Begg really fits the character very nicely, since she gives her that occasionally kindly yet sinister old lady feel to her character. We also get some rather neat one-off villains, such as Doc Gerbil, the King of Flan, Freaky Fred, the Weirmole, and many others. The episode concepts are very inventive and are really played loosely, despite the fact that a lot of them may come across as being too scary for young kids. But at least the episodes are not quite as scary as those from The Twilight Zone, The Outer Limits, or even Goosebumps, even if I did read a few of the Goosebumps books when I was in elementary school. Although the show seems to have a little bit more in common with that of Erie, Indiana, even if I never saw that show, being that both shows deal with a lot of mysterious or even scary phenomena that seem to be attracted to the town that the main characters live in. I happen to know quite a few people that didn't like the show because of how scary it is, but it didn't really scare me all that much, even if it did have its share of scary or unnerving moments, such as the entirety of the episode King Ramses' Curse, which is actually one of my favorite episodes, or even that one infamous scene from the episode Courage in the Big Stinkin' City with that creepy stop motion violin girl. Even in spite of how creepy the show can get at times, I actually enjoy it because of how inventive and creative the different creatures, monsters, and aliens are, and especially the ways that Courage deals with the villains in various unorthodox yet ingenious methods. And despite the creepiness factor for the show, there was actually quite a few episodes that I really enjoyed from beginning to end. My favorites being King Ramses' Curse, Journey to the Center of Nowhere, Human Habit Trail, Tulip's Worm, and any episode featuring Ma Beg, as I've mentioned before. I mean, the show may be a little bit scary, but I think it's actually rather tame compared to some stuff such as the tunnel scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or even the infamous Mr. Creosote segment from Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. The show is actually more of a comedy horror show rather than a straight up horror show, in stark contrast to that of Goosebumps or even Eerie, Indiana. For this, I will give Courage the Cowardly Dog 8 stars. In 2014, a little over a decade after the show ended, a CGI animated short called The Fog of Courage aired, but I never saw it. Though around that time, both of Eustace's original voice actors had died after the original show ended, so his voice was provided by Wallace Shawn, best known for voicing Rex in the Toy Story films. However, from what I heard, his portrayal of Eustace Begg wasn't as great as that of Lionel Wilson's or even Arthur Anderson's. In fact, Jeff Bergman did a much better job voicing Eustace in the Scooby Doo crossover film. Though, speaking of which, in 2021, a direct to video film called Straight Out of Nowhere Scooby Doo Meets Courage the Cowardly Dog was released, in which Scooby Doo, Shaggy, Fred, Daphne, and Velma travel to Nowhere and meet with Courage, Muriel, and Eustace while trying to solve a mystery involving a giant monster cicada that is attacking Nowhere. I've not seen it either, but I've heard mixed reviews about it. Not to mention that during the production on this film, the actress who voiced Muriel in the original series The Fog of Courage and the film died a couple of months before the film was released. Kinda sad, isn't it? But at least the film was able to have a memoriam to the lady, so that's a nice send off. But anyway, that's a wrap for this episode of Cave Cats movie and TV reviews. As I keep mentioning before, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more episodes or other videos from me. So until next time, later!